Horns Rev is a shallow area in the eastern North Sea, about 15 kilometers (10 miles) off the westernmost point of Denmark, Blåvands Huk. Horns Rev 1 offshore wind farm. The reef contains the first large-scale offshore wind farm in the world, Horns Rev 1, and is 4 times larger than the previous largest offshore wind farm in the world, the Middle Ground, at 40 megawatts. At Horns Rev, the Danish energy company Elsem built the first offshore wind farm in the North Sea. A total of 80 Vestas V80-2.0 megawatts units, capable of producing 160 megawatts, were installed by the Danish offshore wind farm services provider A2SEA in 2002, with the last turbine coming into operation on the 11th of December 2002. It receives a guaranteed price of 0.453 DKK kWh for the first 42,000 hours, paid by electricity consumers. Since 2005, the wind farm has been owned and operated by Vattenfall. It cost 2 billion Danish kroner. A radar has shown details of the wind patterns, improving local short-term forecasting. Turbines are laid out as an oblique rectangle of 5 kilometers by 3.8 kilometers. The distance between turbines is 560 meters in both directions. The main method of transport to the first wind park is an adapted Eurocopter EC-135 helicopter when winds are less than 19 meters per second. Hoisting the workers to and from a small platform on each turbine allows access to the park regardless of sea conditions, which would otherwise prevent sailing in the area for a large part of the year. The Vattenfall can change a gearbox in a day, and the farm has an availability of 96 to 97%. 2 turbines are burnt out and are uneconomic to replace with less than 10 years left. Horns Rev 3 offshore wind farm. In April 2012, most of the Danish Folketing agreed to send out tenders in 2013 for a 400 megawatts wind farm at Horns Rev called Horns Rev 3, and a 600 megawatts at Kriegers Flak in the Baltic Sea, both likely receiving 90 kWh for the first 50,000 hours. This is expected to raise wind power in Denmark above the current 39% of annual electricity production, which includes the 400 megawatt Sandholt offshore wind farm. The Danish Energy Agency expects construction candidates for Horns Rev 3 to have experience with installing and operating a large offshore wind farm. Some of the area is an old minefield from World War II. 4 bidders were qualified for the tender. The Vattenfall won the tender in February 2015 at a price of 77 kWh, well below the 105 at Anholt. The Vattenfall states that they bid unaggressively against strong competition without sacrificing margins. The price reduction contributes to a smaller green subsidy over the next years. The Vattenfall ordered 50 of the 8 megawatts MHI Vestas offshore V164 in 2015. 3 transformers were installed in July 2016. Report. Findings released from an 8-year study about offshore wind farms in Denmark show that the projects operate in harmony with the surrounding environment. The 2006 report confirms that both the Horns Rev and Ystad offshore wind farms will double in size in the coming years.